Can we clear up one thing?
Sure.
One of the things Clinton said was that she didn't want to use two devices.
Mm-hmm.
And there's been different reporting out there about why that may have been possible or not possible. So because I've seen tweets from people saying that, who worked in the State Department at the time, that in fact the devices at the time did not allow for the use of a .gov address and a private email as they do now on everybody's phone. Everybody knows you can use more than one email address. So in 2008, was she restricted from doing that based on state policy?
Sure. Prior to early 2014 and the release of the new generation of BlackBerry devices, the security protocols that state deployed did not permit automated access. So I think some of you may have devices today, or it's capable today of having a personal and a work email on the same device. So that wasn't permitted at the time. Obviously, things have updated post 2014. Secretary Clinton also was not issued a State Department BlackBerry. And that wasn't a requirement. No one is required to be issued a State Department BlackBerry.
Not even the Secretary of State, whose communications presumably would require a higher level of security than just an ordinary BlackBerry?
Correct, not required.
So, and is that still the policy? The Secretary...
Nope. Any employee, including the Secretary, is not required to receive a State Department issued BlackBerry.
Why not?
Well,
why wouldn't you want to control the security on devices that are being used for official business?
Well, Arshad, I think it's not. I'm just stating what our policy is.
I'm asking
Obviously,
why you have that policy.
I'm answering your question. There's no reason to take that tone. The second piece of it is, Arshad, that obviously she had a personal device. I can't speak to what was done on that personal device and what was not. That's a question I would pose to her team.
My question, though, to you was why it is the State Department's current policy that officials who use BlackBerries for official business do not have to use a government...
That is not what I stated our policy was. I stated our policy is that not required to be issued a State Department BlackBerry. I will check and see if that is still our policy.
BlackBerry shareholders are very upset. They're not forcing all your employees.
There are many
here's the alternate question: is can you use a non-BlackBerry with a state.gov address?
No, the state.gov is only issued on devices issued by the State Department.
So if you have an iPhone or an Android or something like that, you can't have a state.gov address on it?
Well, I have an iPad that has that is a State Department issued device, so I have my email on there. Sure, if it's State Department issued.
There's something I don't understand.
Okay.
I'm genuinely confused. You said that it was not State Department. At some indeterminate point in the past, it was not policy that State Department officials were required to use a State Department issued BlackBerry?
Well, no, not required to is not required to be issued. Some people may not use BlackBerries.
Right, no, I get that.
You can't get state.gov email on a BlackBerry that's not State Department issued.
You cannot.
Correct.
So in other words, the state.gov email, assuming the Secretary Kerry has a BlackBerry with a state.gov address on it, that is a State Department issued BlackBerry.
Yes. Now, there are remote ways, but obviously in terms of getting it automatically as your email, that is the policy.
So the Secretary does have a State Department issued BlackBerry?
Yes.